Howdy all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. So it's almost Horde night. We got about an hour yet before it gets dark. I plan on hanging out here at my base. So I've been doing a little harvesting. I want to check out how well my traps do. And so I made up some meat stews they're cooking. Got some aloe vera leaves. I got some cotton in here. Oh, pumpkins gotta go in here. I think it is it just like dude, what does yucca look like? I am not seeing it. Did I put it in the wrong box? Why can I never see yucca? There it is. Because it doesn't look like what I expected to. Alright, and then I also wanted, yeah, empty jars. Is that a cook thing? It is. And I'm cooking myself right now. Did that use up all my... It did. Okay, cool. Keep that with me. Alright. So while we are checking out how well my traps do, I thought I'd talk about the new Black Widow movie. I watched it this weekend. Some slight spoilers. I'm going to try to keep it fairly spoiler-free, but I am going to discuss some concepts. So, I didn't think it was that great. I expected Black Widow to be Black Widow. I'd seen the trailer, and I thought the trailer made it look like the movie was going to be dumb. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but the characters I thought were dumb in the trailer were dumb in the movie, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Uh, it's been a while since I watched through the Avengers movies. I'll admit it. Sometimes my brain makes up things that didn't actually occur in things, but I'm sure they were there, and then later I find out they weren't. So some of that may have happened as well, but I was under the impression that Black Widow was taken as a small child to be trained as a super spy by the Russians, and so she did not have a family, and she was Russian operative and all that. And there's some slight changes in the story, especially. It's like the people who wrote the Black Widow movie basically watched two other movies, and here's the concept thing. They watched The Americans, which is a story about a family in the United States who are actually Russian operatives, hiding as Americans. And they watched Hannah, the TV series, the Amazon series. Because this movie was one part Americans and two parts Hannah the TV series and one part Avengers. Only Iron Man 3 Avengers. There was so much sitting around and talking in this movie. So much sitting around and talking. I thought it would be more spy-like. I thought it would be more John Wick combat scenes like, because that's what the Black Widow's like in the other movies, right? You know the scene in the first, is it the first Avengers film where Black Widow's in the chair and um she's trying to get information out of that guy by letting her think that he has her captured, and then she breaks the chair and all that. I thought it was going to be like that, and it wasn't. In fact, the whole movie felt like a lead up to a TV series, and not one starring Black Widow. Um, I wish I had the other scope on this so I could zoom in. Yep, come on, come on. Break through that wall. Wait, is there another wall there? I thought they'd come in from the other direction, but no. My sledgehammers aren't on that side, people. And, so really the movie is not about Black Widow at all. It's... I mean, she's in it, and she's the main person they follow, I guess, but it's not really about her. It's about... Uh, it's so weird. Like, it's about another character that she met and knew for like 3 years, 21 years ago. That's what it's about. And so that character is apparently going to be in the new one of the new series coming to Disney Plus. I would gather from the post credits scene. Well, so far it's working pretty good. I don't have any busted pillars so far. Oh, how did you get up here? Well, that's weird. I don't know how that guy got up here. Did I leave my box down here? I did. I left a path up. Silly me. But yeah, I wasn't impressed. I really was hoping for a slick, actiony kind. I didn't know when they were setting it. Um, it was bizarre. It was not well written, in my opinion. Um, that's not true. It wasn't poorly written. It was out of character and did not fit in with the Black Widow persona, and did not match Black Widow from other. I mean, there was some fighting, but you could probably throw in a dash of X-Men, X-Men 2. Maybe a little bit in there. But yeah, it was. I was disappointed. My sister said this felt like the pilot of a TV show. Um, and I agree. It's the lead up to this new character's part in, uh, I assume, the new Hawkeye series, which I don't know the name of. You think I could remember that, but I don't. The one where he's training a new character. I assume it's in that. Um, is that it? That was my whole horde, was a handful of guys and this guy just standing down here? I didn't... I guess there's a couple of them. There you go. You're too dumb to come down to the other spot. There's a guy there too. There's one there too. There you go. There you go. Where the fence is open. No, the fence is open. People have already come through right next to you. Right there. That spot right there, man. So, yeah. I was disappointed. On the rating of where I would place it, in going from my favorites to my least favorite. My least favorite Avengers movie is Iron Man 3. Um, I just don't like that movie. And then that's probably followed by, there are so many of them. Thor Ragnarok. And then probably, Captain Marvel's in there somewhere. I would say it's on par, maybe a little better than Captain Marvel. I did not like Thor Ragnarok at all. But I did not dislike it more than I dislike Iron 3. That's not to say I won't watch them. They're not like, oh, I'll never watch that again. But they're like, oh, okay, we'll watch this, but just know that when we get to the part where he's sitting in the garage moping to that kid, I'm going to be rolling my eyes real hard. Dude. No, you're done. You can't walk through the gap that people already made. You don't get to come and play. And what are you doing down here? Like, seriously, guys, there are gaps. See, there's already openings. That guy's going back out. All right, so that's Black Widow. The other thing I want to talk about was Doctor Who. I talked a little bit about Doctor Who last week sometime. And so I wanted to update where I'm at with the Doctor Who. So I've now made it, because that's another one that just, the things that the people I talk to are saying makes me once again realize that I don't know how we can suggest things to each other because our opinions are so different. And every time I say this to him, he says, we both like anime. Yeah, but anime is such a huge, huge envelope containing so many different genres. Occasionally we cross over, but most of the time we like different things. So I'm on Doctor 11. Doctor 11? Doctor 12. I'm on Doctor 12. Who's technically Doctor 13. Peter Capaldi. And I have not liked this Doctor. And, everybody's gonna make their own opinions about whether or not they like something. I'm not saying my opinion is to be and all. I get it. People like different things. It just means I don't have to like something that other people like. But it's weird to me that um, it's weird to me the comments I get from the dude who I talk Doctor Who with, because the things he says to me don't match up with reality to me. And so I feel like, our opinions are so varied on what's going on. Like, I don't know why he likes this doctor. I just don't get it. So if you've never seen Doctor Who, right? It's pretty basic. It's a sci-fi show. It's been going on since the 60s. They take breaks occasionally. Oh, I just thought I fell off. Oof, all I did was bump my mouse. Um, and So they brought it back in the 2000, like 5-ish, I think. And it's been going ever since. Although people hate it so much at the moment that they're probably going to stop making it, I would guess. I don't know. I don't know how well it's doing, but um, you can't have anything, because the longer something goes on, it's not so much that people don't want to watch it anymore. It's that they think that they are welcome to their opinions, but it translates into like this hate campaigns against something they used to like, because things change. Um, uh, and I feel like that's what's happened with Doctor Who. Uh, Fan bases for sci-fi shows tend to be insular. And so if they don't like the changes, that's it. That's the end of the world, right? Man, I just hear zombies going chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. Another one's dead. Lots of XP for me that don't cost me anything but standing up here. I bet I could go down farther and make a closer walkway so we could watch it a little easier. So the Peter Capaldi has been a strange doctor to me. He is so Doctor Who is right, time traveling human looking alien who um, tends to try to help people he comes across. His vehicle is this thing called the TARDIS. It looks like a box, a police box, which isn't something we really have here in the States, but it's like a phone booth, which we don't really have here in the United States anymore either. But it's a phone booth where they could go in, and I think the police could put people in them, and it also had a phone on the outside to call directly to the police if there was an issue, back pre cell phone. It's been the police box since the 60s, right? Maybe the 70s, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly when it turned into a police box, but that's been its shape forever, the blue box. And so, anyways, the vehicle itself is alive. Not that he can usually talk to it, although there are some episodes where he can, but not very many. And so it doesn't take him where he wants to go, it takes him where he needs to go sometimes. I mean, it will take him where he wants to go if the show needs him to go there, right? But the idea is that it senses the makeup of time and space and knows the doctor needs to be places to save people, right? And so that's what happens. He sets his little dials and levers to where he wants to go, and then he may or may not get there. Um, and he often has people, uh, aliens, a robot dog at one point, who travel with him. And so they make up a good chunk of the story, and they often are replaced after a certain amount of time. And so a doctor, and the doctor, when he dies, he regenerates into a new body. And so that's how they have kept it going for so long, because they just replaced the actor who plays the doctor. And so usually a doctor runs, a couple, 3, 4, 6 seasons, whatever. I don't know if any have run 6 seasons, but the modern incarnation has been like 1 season for the first guy, I think like 3 or 4 for the next 2, and then 3 for this guy, and then I think the current one she's on 3 or 4. But anyways, so Peter Capaldi, he's the one before they turned Doctor Who into a woman, which has greatly upset the universe of Doctor Who. And so the guy I chat Doctor Who with, he won't watch it because he has read that the show has become too woke. And and Peter Capaldi was one of his favorites. And I'm just like, I cannot get into this guy. He doesn't act like the Doctor. He doesn't want to help people. Even now, when I thought he had changed, he comes off as like the previous Doctor was, or the previous couple Doctors were in these big multi-season storylines, and they believed that they could save everyone. I'm the Doctor and I save people. That was his attitude, right? And then he, like, there's a couple of famous episodes, or more, I don't know, more prominent episodes that took place where, like, part of the storyline too is that there are fixed moments in time that can't be changed. They must happen, or else all of time and space unravels. And so there's a moment where he's alone, his companion isn't there, and he's upset about what went down, and so he says he's the last of the Time Lords. Oop, let's see, you gonna get punched in the face? You didn't punch him in the face. Why didn't it punch him in the face? Why are you facing that wall? You're supposed to be facing the zombie and punch him in the face. Did not punch him in the face like he's supposed to. I think there's a treasure bag right there too. And so we get to this new guy after like big epic save the universe storylines, right? And the new guy is like, people die. Whatever. I got better things to do. And then on top of that, they got this companion. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. They don't, like, the same people are writing it, so I don't get what happened. But they don't have any build up to what happens in the show. And people are like, no, I like it because it shows that, But yeah, I'm watching a show. I get that people just die crossing the road sometimes. Right? I mean, that's what happened to one of the characters. But I don't see where this woman, who's the companion at the moment, even cares about this dude. And then it's supposed to be like this life-ending event to her, and she like tries to force the Doctor to change time to save this guy, which you'd think that he'd be able to do, but he's like, nope, it happened, we can't change it. I'm like, really? Because that's not how you do things. I've seen you change things before. And then after like that episode, like a couple episodes later, he comes back, and then he dies. He doesn't come back alive. He comes back as a undead monster kind of thing. And and after that, it's like he never existed. Nobody cares. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody comments on this show. And I'm like, really? And then like, just every episode was basically they go someplace, people are in trouble. Doctor Who is like, people die. It's not my problem. And then Clara would insert herself into whatever was going on. And then she would get in trouble. And then the doctor would be like, oh, well, I have to save Clara. And incidentally, I guess I'll have to save all these other people as well. Every episode had that formula. And I'm just like, what happened to this show? What happened to a doctor who wanted to save everyone? He stayed on a planet until he nearly died of old age trying to save everyone in his previous form. Explain to me why this guy suddenly doesn't care if anyone lives or dies at all. I just don't get it. And that was every episode for 2 seasons. Was the doctor and Clara would go someplace, the doctor would be like, look at what's going on. Oh, people are in trouble. People are always in trouble. I don't care. Clara would get in trouble. Doctor would be like, I will destroy the universe to save Clara. And I'm like, I don't even get that the doctor likes Clara. I don't understand. He doesn't seem attached like that to her. He seems more annoyed that she's there. He just seems annoyed. And so we finally get to the end of season 9. And at the end of season 9, now it's season 9 of the new era of Doctor Who. There was a gap, like, I want to say original Doctor Who ended in the late 80s, like 89. And then there was a movie in like 91. And then they didn't do anything from 91 to 2005. So they started over as. They did not start the show over. They just started the numbering over. So the 2005 season is labeled as season 1. So 9 seasons in. Is that right? 2005 and 9 seasons would only be 2014. And this is 2020. Oh, because I'm behind. Right. So I have to subtract 3 or 4. 3 off of the current year, so it'd be 2017. That seems about right, because they did take a couple of years off in here and there. But yeah, it's so then Clara leaves the show, and the very next episode, he almost turns into a regular doctor. The very next episode without her. I am so confused. He doesn't have the same personality anymore. At all. And, and and then I made the woke comment earlier, because the new Doctor Who is a woman, and people are complaining that the show has become a SJW wokeness platform. I have not seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what the writing's like. I don't know what the stories are like. Everything I've read, everybody I've talked to, not everybody I've read, but a lot of people I have read, and the dude who I talked Doctor Who with said that he doesn't like it because it's too SJ. He doesn't have any examples. He won't watch the show, so I get the feeling that he read people's comments about the show and then won't watch it, because he is kind of notorious for getting his opinion from Reddit sometimes. And like, I will watch something and I'll be like, dude, this was amazing, you should check it out. And then his response will be, I read on Reddit it wasn't very good, and then he will never watch it. And I'm like, okay, but we suggest things to each other. You always. Oh, oh. Where is it? I knew this guy was coming. Oh, he's already dead. I knew that guy was coming. He's the one I was worried about coming down here for. Was the spitty police officer. And anyways, so it was funny to me because the last episode I watched of the Doctor Who he claimed was the last good Doctor Who, um, he's got a new companion in this last season who is a black lesbian, and they go back to 1814 England, and she says she can't just wander around town because she's black and there's slavery. And so they put on a dress. She puts on a dress, and nice. I went up a level for barely doing anything. I love it. And so let's see. What do I want to put my point into? I had a plan. I think this was my plan. We'll pretend that was my plan. I don't like that she's in the middle, man. And so then they're out and about, and she says that their current era of England has a lot more black people in it than the movies show. And Doctor Who responds, "So was Jesus." And then he says that history is just a whitewash. And it made me laugh because he was just complaining to me like 2 days ago about how the new Doctor Who is too woke and that Peter Capaldi was the last good one. And I was like, this is like the comments where people are like, new Star Trek is too woke, whereas old Star Trek had the first interracial kiss in television history. Right? Or like dude was complaining that GI Joe was complaining about GI Joe because the new Snake Eyes is Asian, and the comic book Snake Eyes is a white guy with blonde hair. I honestly didn't know what Snake Eyes looked like because I'm not sure I ever saw a Snake Eyes who wasn't completely covered head to toe in armor. And so the person making the comment was like, "What's next? Eco Warriors?" And then someone replied, "Yeah, back in the 90s, G.I. Joe introduced the Eco Warriors who combated ecological disasters." And it's like, just because you're not aware of the history don't mean it's not there. Yeah. So yeah, I'm almost to the new Doctor Who. I'm actually looking forward to seeing her. I watched one episode with her. Like I said, it's hard to switch to a new Doctor. Because I mean, you've watched shows, and you get attached to a character. And so after 4 seasons of a character, and then they just switch that character for a different actor with a slightly different personality, right? It's a little hard to adjust to that. I get it. And so I really gave Peter Capaldi the benefit of the doubt. Um, and the dude I was talking with, he's like, yeah, you just gotta wait. The first little bit, he does seem off, but once they get going, he really finds his stride. And I'm like, okay, so apparently that stride is a complete personality change, because he no longer is the character he was for the first 2 seasons. He was the Doctor, and so I'll be interested to see what Jodie Whittaker is as Doctor Who, because I can't believe anything anybody says or that I read. Um, I mean, I always believe that anyways. I gotta see it for myself to know what my opinion is going to be of the thing. Uh, well, I say this is a success. I almost couldn't say the word success. My base has not fallen. I think I only had one zombie attacking a pillar. Really, I wish it wasn't so long till morning. I really want to get down there and check out those bags, which I'm gonna have to do before I quit. But I am gonna end the episode here. So with that, because I don't want to go down there right now while those blades are spinning. Um, and I don't want to turn them off either, because it's still dangerous. But with that, be better than the small things. Lean into the light. I will talk to you later.